Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we've got Bitcoin, guys, today on a Sunday, September 11th, and it's maintaining this upward trend. So we can see it here. I've got it on the daily. We can see over the last couple of days, Bitcoin has seen higher prices, and today we're kind of in a wait and see mode. If I throw it on the hourly here, you guys can see that the trend is kind of petering off, and we're really waiting to break these former highs that Bitcoin set last month. So, what we're waiting for now is for Bitcoin to breach $21,900. That's ultimately the price we're looking for here. It would break former resistance back in late August 2022. So again, guys, this is the micro trend on the 1 hour. All throughout late August and September, we did see Bitcoin dip down below $20,000, but now it's back up. And so 21.9 is, right now it's the price to be looking at in order to get more momentum upward. From there, if I throw it back on the daily, we can see zooming out, we would likely need to get above 25.2. So right up here, $25,200 per BTC. So that's looking outward for the macro trend. That would be a former level of resistance here and former support here, dipping down back in mid-May. First things first, though, got to get up above 21,900. So guys, what's with this Bitcoin trend? Well, traders, they're saying the Bitcoin price is overdue. Bitcoin traded in an increasingly narrow range on September the 6th. So this was taken from a few days ago as bets piled in over an imminent breakout. So it looks as though the prediction came true. The very next day, September 7th, September 8th, we did see green candlesticks on the Bitcoin chart. And then September 9th was really that day where it did break out. And guys, here's some reasons why we are likely going to see this continue. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed BTC/USD staying under 20,000 for a fourth straight day. So this was again a few days ago. As many wondered when and how the latest consolidation phase would end, two popular social media traders noticed an ongoing accumulation trend by an unknown large-scale Binance futures trading entity. So in a nutshell, retail traders or retail investors were selling, and that entity had spent several days soaking up the liquidity. Bounce incoming, this coming from Il Capo of Crypto. He said, he predicted in part of an update on the phenomenon, describing the entity's long Bitcoin position as massive and easily worth $30,000 Bitcoin or more. So that's the prediction there. Jackus down here continued that there isn't actually too much interest at 19,650 on the Binance futures outlook for Bitcoin. He says, we are seeing the positions being filled, the price goes up, then a new wave of selling comes in, hit the new orders again, and repeat. Looks like someone is accumulating hard. So again, back to this Bitcoin price, $20,000, right? Anything under $20,000, it looks as though the smart money is accumulating the king cryptocurrency. And, this was even predicted back 5 days ago before we saw that bounce. So hopefully we see this continue. Gonna move along, guys. Michael Branch posting this. So Singapore's biggest bank, which happens to be a Ripple partner, DBS Bank, they've just announced a partnership with The Sandbox, DBS, to acquire land in the Sandbox Metaverse. So this is Metaverse related. So The Sandbox, they're a decentralized gaming virtual world and a subsidiary of Animoca Brands. On Friday, as part of their partnership, DBS will create a Metaverse experience and buy land in the Sandbox. DBS will buy a 3x3 plot of land, a unit of virtual real estate in the Sandbox Metaverse, to develop Better World, an interactive metaverse experience showcasing the importance of building a better, more sustainable world. Interesting. Our partnership with the Sandbox and Animoca Brands marks the start of an exciting collaboration as we push the boundaries of what is possible in the metaverse. This coming from DBS CEO Pirush Gupta. We also look forward to harnessing it as an additional innovative platform to spread the word on important ESG or environmental, social, and governance issues, and to shine a spotlight on communities and partners doing good work to address them. So the ESG thing again, this is a topic, of course, that is being pushed strongly by the powers that be. This idea that, everything in the world has to be more sustainable. Meanwhile, we got guys like Elon Musk saying that underpopulation could be the real problem. I'm not going to touch on that in this video. Nevertheless, DBS says it is the first Singapore company to partner with the Sandbox and the first local bank to make a foray into the metaverse. So we've heard of other banks making a foray into the metaverse. Obviously, if big banks are, here's how I see it. If big banks are moving in, they're thinking that this is going to be a big play. However, it's funny, when you actually survey retail, they think the metaverse is going to be a big dud. So I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know if they're going to make the metaverse so appealing to us that we decide, hey, why wouldn't we want to be living in this space? It's got everything we need. We don't have to leave the comforts of our own home. These are all social, psychological reasons that are going to influence if somebody decides to live in a virtual world. And so, these banks are really trying to capitalize on it now to buy the plots of land relatively cheaply compared to, if the metaverse really does take off. So this is Ripple partner DBS Bank with their foray into the metaverse. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. I saw another one, guys, from XRP Crypto Wolf here with regards to JP Morgan. Now they are hiring to push banking products onto the metaverse as well. Wall Street mega bank JP Morgan is looking to expand its reach in the crypto market, seeking a new business development specialist in its payments group to target new clients across Web3, the metaverse, and crypto. The bank, which has provided banking services for crypto exchange Coinbase, noted in a job advertisement on LinkedIn for a payments business development manager that the firm is keen to grow its business in merchant banking and treasury services in the Web3, crypto, fintech, and metaverse industry sub-verticals. So are we noticing a trend here? It looks as though we are. The new hire would sit in the bank's technology, media, and telecom payments team on the West Coast. As reported in 2020, JP Morgan took on Coinbase and Gemini as its first crypto exchange clients. More recently, the firm announced in February of 2022 that it had opened up a branch in DCG-backed metaverse Decentraland. So this isn't the first time JP Morgan has been dabbling in the metaverse. They've obviously been looking into it before. Per the job description, the new hire would be responsible for lining up new corporate clients for a wide range of payment products, including transactional FX, liquidity and treasury services, and escrow. And guys, here's a quote. There is no industry playbook for these segments. This individual must be comfortable paving a path, creating frameworks, and working with extremely fast-moving companies amongst ambiguity. So this is just the job description. Of course, the metaverse is still so new that nobody's got experience working in it really yet. But again, it seems as though this is a trend for banks specifically. And, crypto adoption payments, this is also going to play a big part in the metaverse. We've noticed that the XRPL developers developing on the XRP ledger, they're creating new products like NFTs, all things that will likely have value once a metaverse becomes more of a reality. So banks, big money, smart money, professional players, if they are looking into the metaverse, I'm guessing that they're wagering that this is going to be a big deal. Anyway, just thought I'd bring that to you, courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf here on Twitter. Now, another one from Michael Branch, and another great thread here from Wojake with regards to the XRP ledger. The XRPL could become a go-to platform for CBDCs, and here is how. Now, we already have a lot of evidence to suggest that, the XRPL is going to be the platform for central bank digital currencies. I mean, what other crypto company do you know, can you point to that is connected to as many central banks globally as Ripple? You probably can't name any other company. In 2022, a number of leading blockchains, including Avalanche, Polygon, Ethereum, and BNB, they also implemented purpose-made sidechain solutions, but the XRP Ledger blockchain can supercharge state-backed digital assets with its federated sidechains. So federated sidechains, this just came out within the last year. Wojake here, though, has taken to Twitter to explain the role of these federated sidechains in development with central bank digital currencies. So to kind of explain how this is going to work, I thought I'd delve into this, and I will link this in the description for you guys if you're interested. A look on how federated sidechains, or XBridge by Ripple, could possibly increase the XRPL ecosystem's chance at global CBDC adoption. Let's clarify this first. It's somewhat clear to the general public that governments want centrally controlled payment networks to act as a medium for their CBDCs. I think that is probably very agreed upon here. Regulatory enforcement and policy making. Okay, so the key problems with creating a brand new payment network dedicated to your own governmental needs and currency in a centralized environment is onboarding users and the necessary liquidity needed to stimulate the payment network with real value. Well, obviously I see where this is going. There is clearly a solution for this. In any new up-and-coming network, onboarding users and value will always be a challenge. So we've got the Ripple X dev team and their new federated sidechains, or XBridge. That concept may play an incredible role for interoperability between different payment networks maintained by governments and the XRPL. XBridge enables the transfer of assets across different ledgers, as we know, and a federated sidechain can be centralized or decentralized, so you can choose what you want to do with it, open or private. Its validators can follow any consensus mechanism. Any feature can be implemented to enforce law and regulation. So if you are a central bank, you can choose to have a federated sidechain built on the XRP ledger that can be centralized, and you can use it for what you want. But that's not to say that the entire XRP ledger is centralized. You can have decentralized federated sidechains, centralized federated sidechains, or a mix thereof. He goes on to say this totally fits government's needs and goals. So this was a big point of contention, I think, back in 2017 and 18. Banks were really apprehensive to get onto the XRP ledger, and so, Ripple had to find a way, they had to find a solution so that they could create more comfort on the banking side. I mean, over the years, they have been partnering with more banks. And for a while there, they were keeping the numbers under wraps. But I think now, I think since we are seeing more development, we are seeing more banking-friendly solutions on the XRP ledger, this is what's really going to give that last push that Ripple needed in order to fully develop, that trust with the banking industry so that they can use it. Now, there's the legacy banking industry in the United States who maintains control over the banking sector, so that's a whole other separate can of worms. But in terms of the technology, in terms of trusting that cryptocurrency or that this particular cryptocurrency, XRP, can work in conjunction with banks, I think they really needed to do this. They needed to get over that hurdle in order for it to really kind of work. So this totally fits government's needs. They're able to deploy their very own payment network dedicated for their CBDC, and they're able to onboard users and liquidity from the XRPL without any barriers. There are a few reasons why government aren't doing this publicly, mainly regulatory concerns and policymaking. So right now there's still that hurdle. Additionally, the XRPL ecosystem lacks sufficient user, liquidity, and infrastructure and talent needed to facilitate such a mature ecosystem. So this is the plan. We still haven't scaled it up. And so here's where we are. We have the technology. Ripple's been working on building that liquidity, but that liquidity is going to be quintessential. And once we start moving large sums of money, huge quantities of dollars and crypto and gold and precious metals and stocks and whatever else of value moving across the XRP ledger, the price of XRP is going to need to be higher so that there will be enough liquidity to perform all these transactions. So all in all, XBridge is a concept, or rather as a concept, is very valuable to the XRP ecosystem for interoperability between different payment networks. And such a concept will bring many new use cases to XRP. Currently, XBridge, or rather the XBridge amendment, is under review and testing on the Ripple codebase. So credit to this person here, EFOFEX, for helping me with structuring this thread. Anyway, a great overview here from Wojciech. Wanted to thank him and Michael Branch just for bringing this to our attention. Federated sidechains, guys, this is going to be big. The flexibility of the centralized, decentralized blockchain, of course, central banks want to have control, but the XRPL needs to be open, needs to be decentralized in order to have that level playing field. So here we are now. We can have our cake and eat it too. And just as a side note here from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed, remember back in December of 2014 when Vitalik Buterin actually says Ethereum is not the internet of value, Ripple is the internet of value.
That's really what Ethereum is. People talk a lot about cryptocurrency 2.0 being like the internet of value. We're not the internet of value. Ripple is the internet of value. We're an arbitrary processor for state transaction functions.
He said it, not me. So the World Bank has labeled XRP as a digital currency. What will the SEC label it as? This coming from Matthew Liny. And guys, this isn't a new document, but just to reiterate this point here, XRP is seen around the world as a currency, not a security, as per the people over there at the SEC would like you to believe. Ripple has developed a network based on distributed ledger technology for cross-border payments. The RippleNet network allows financial institutions to send and receive international payments from a single pre-funded account. RippleNet allows for fiat-to-fiat transactions as well as the use of XRP digital currency to bridge between different jurisdictions. Not only that, the World Bank was also the organization that put out that paper that were calling for a stable or rather, they were classifying XRP and XLM as stable coins. So, the idea is in the future, they have to be at a stable enough price, low volatility, but they do have to be at a high enough price in order to conduct the types of transactions that are going to be going through those particular ledgers. I mean, the XRPL and the Stellar network, respectively. So how is the SEC going to label XRP? Well, guys, we got a new development in the case coming from the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Perry Ann Boring just gave us a new update, Exhibit A coming soon. So she posted it over there on Twitter in the XRP community, getting really excited about this. The Chamber is wading into the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, okay? Expect something similar to what it filed in the Telegram case. And the argument is that although the sale of XRP might have been a security, the token itself is not inherently a security. So similar to John Deaton, just not as compelling. Well, flattery will get you everywhere, Jeremy Hogan. Attack Titan down here saying in content may be similar, in intent no similarity. Deaton's was made at the forefront from the beginning, seeking a level playing field, clarity and justice for the entire space without regard for political positioning. Anyone just now slipping in at the end is a pretender. Conspira XRP theorist down here saying I'm expecting to see the phrase unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP may be a security, and different variations of that throughout. Perianne has shown loyalty only to Bitcoin and Ethereum, so a little skeptical here on her stance. Kashta down here also chiming in, attorney Jeremy Hogan. Although that's the likely argument they will make, saying XRP itself isn't a security isn't enough because based on governance issues, managerial efforts, promotional efforts, and more, a non-security asset can slip into being a security. Kashta goes on to say the clarity that's needed in this space is not what is or isn't a security, but when does governance gain too much influence, managerial efforts, etc. These are the clear rules the SEC refuses to give to maintain power of discretion for them to say when it's too far. Very good points here. However, I do want to remain optimistic. We got even Taint Truth down here saying I don't trust Perianne Boring. I'm hoping Perianne Boring is going to be a proponent and going to be an advocate for the entire industry, not just for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think that would be counterproductive, especially at this stage in the game. I guess we should also go back to this document, and how do we know she's even bringing up the Ripple SEC case? Well, if you do some sleuthing, you can tell over here in this portion of the document, you can read through it. I don't know if you can tell from the screen, but I can read through it here. It is the Ripple SEC case, Ripple Labs Incorporated, Bradley Garlinghouse and Christian Larson. So didn't do a great job at hiding that. Nevertheless, this is what we have. And so what did they file? What did the Chamber of Digital Commerce file with regards to the Telegram case? Well, James K. Filan also given us some of that information here. For those interested, below are the Amicus briefs filed by the Chamber of Digital Commerce in the SEC versus Telegram case, and down here there's also the one SEC in the Kick Interactive case as well. So if we click on this, can we get it now? No. So for whatever reason, I've been trying to click on this, and for whatever reason it says this file cannot be previewed because you are offline. Well, I am not offline. I've checked my internet connection. I guess I could download this. I could do that. I will leave this in the description for you guys if you do want to download those Amicus briefs. I also found this, though, back from January of 2020. An article from Cointelegraph basically stating what was done. So Digital Chamber of Commerce weighs in on the Telegram legal brief with the SEC and their arguments on how U.S. courts should consider digital assets. So more of the same here. Explains who the Chamber of Digital Commerce is in the beginning part of this article. And then down here says, Chamber urges for clarity regarding investment contracts. Given its supportive stance on blockchain technology, the Chamber emphasized that it is not trying to prove whether Telegram's $1.7 billion Telegram token sale was a securities transaction. Instead, the trade association aims to ensure that there is enough clarity around regulations applying to digital assets. And the quote from the Digital Chamber of Commerce goes as such: although the Chamber does not have a view on whether the offer and sale of grams is a securities transaction, the Chamber has an interest in ensuring that the legal framework applied to digital assets underlying an investment contract is clear and consistent. So this is what Jeremy Hogan is surmising. I mean, none of us have read this, but he is expecting that, along the lines of the Telegram case, that we're going to get the same kind of argument with regards to the Ripple SEC case. As such, the Chamber has urged the court to distinguish the term of digital asset, which is the subject of an investment contract, from the securities transaction associated with it. The association stated that this requires two separate analyses, including whether there is an investment contract that is offered in a securities transaction, and whether the subject of the investment contract is a commodity that can be sold in a traditional commercial transaction. The question of whether a token sale constitutes an investment contract, and therefore a securities offering, has been at the heart of the SEC's case against Telegram. Earlier this month, Telegram stated that Gram does not constitute an investment product, and that investors should not expect profits for buying and holding the token. So because it's a utility token, they are saying that, the investors should not expect profits. That's not to say that we won't see profits. So that's basically that with regards to Jeremy Hogan's interpretation and his assumption of the contents of this document. We've also got Bill at Balasarius 2020 here, also explaining what this means. So it means the Chamber of Digital Commerce wants the court to consider points of view that it will say the representative of the crypto industry and which it will otherwise be agitated by the parties in the proceeding. it will have, in my view, a far less disruptive or influential impact than the John Deaton brief, with his evidence of thousands of XRP holders on the issue of whether today's XRP is a security per se, but it will still be helpful and useful if the new brief argues digital assets are not usually investment contracts outside an ICO. So Bill's saying, this could have an impact, but obviously the John Deaton amicus will have a more profound effect. He's got over 70,000 XRP holders behind him, lots of evidence. He's been dedicating a lot of time to this. But, the way I see it, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And, to be honest, I'm just happy we're seeing more of these organizations step up. And, particularly Perry and Boring of the Chamber of Digital Commerce here, bringing up the Ripple SEC case as per the faded second page of this document here, under the cover page Exhibit A. So what are we going to get out of this? Are we going to see change? We're certainly moving in the right direction, guys. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.